We can't hear you, beautiful. You're muted. You got to unmute yourself. We did not hear any of that. Let's try it
Yes,
again.
bloopers. Okay, so sorry, I didn't realize my camera was still muted. But welcome to our Thursday evening show of SolSista's Childhood Trauma Therapy Podcast. I'm your girl, Queen Misha.
And I'm Plum Queen. Hey, y'all. All right.
So,
Hey, got them notifications. That's right.
Megan, what's up?
Yeah.
Good evening, sister.
Yeah, subscribe, hit that bell, get them notifications. I think on Facebook you get to star us or whatever. Yeah, make sure you tune in so you know when it's time to do this healing. All right.
Yes.
All right.
So tonight's topic is insecurities and how you can sabotage the things meant for you when you don't have your insecurities in check. And so I have a story. I'm gonna share one of my friends' stories. We're not gonna use any names, but I have a
That's
friend.
solo view. Don't tell that story.
I have a friend, and basically this friend, she's in a poly situation with with one of her friends and their wife and situation. So basically they've been hanging out and stuff a lot, and they have been having a really great relationship. Well, over the weekend they had a situation where they were kind of triggered, and they allowed insecurities, unnecessary and needed insecurities come out while hanging out with their friend. And so I had to sit down with my friend and talk to her and try to figure out why it was that she felt the need to be insecure in a situation such as poly, where, um, okay, let's see. Let me know if it gets better, okay? So hopefully the static doesn't last too long, but basically, we had to look, and it was because she was dealing with some stuff in her personal life, and so her personal problems that she was going through has started to come out, and I guess impose on the healthy relationships that she has going on in her life. And so she was able to sit down and come to that conclusion and actually, come to terms with the reasons why she had been avoiding dealing with the situation. And in the end, it was a lot of clarity that she was able to receive from the situation. But, she could have messed up her relationship with her friends because of allowing her insecurities to go unchecked, and rather than dealing with them when they first started, suppressing them until she acted out when she wasn't supposed to. And so that's my thing is, why is it that when dealing with insecurities, they go so long being unchecked? People can go years being insecure, and that's one of the healing processes that people very rarely, especially in the masculine sense, but in women as well. But like women, they want to be confident, so they'll attack their insecurities if they're going to attack something to gain confidence. But men, they don't necessarily do that because insecurities in their eyes will make them more feminine or weak, you know? And so, how is it that we can get to a place where, um, being or being able to admit that you have insecurities and then being able to work on those becomes more of a normal rather than it being taboo or bad or looked down upon for being insecure, because 9 times out of 10, you're not being insecure because you want to be, you're being insecure because there's a root and it's been undealt with.
Absolutely. Well, I'm not going to claim to be the queen of insecurities, but insecurities is definitely one of my biggest lessons. And I know a lot of people that look at me and be like, "Oh, Tamara, you're so confident. You put yourself out there. So what do you mean?" And all that jazz. Yeah, see, now See, I'm confident in what I'm confident in, you know what I'm saying? And I have insecurities in certain places, you know what I'm saying, where I'm not. Now, for me, on how I've been dealing with that is again, like you said, getting to the root. So, getting to my childhood traumas, what was going on then, and why did I feel in certain ways? So, my neglect issues or my abandonment issues, feeling like I wasn't good enough, if I'm comparing my mom's relationship with her man compared to me. Also being the person who was always, or at least I felt to be made to always do the right thing, and then being ridiculed for it. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm not doing the right thing, if I'm not making other people, it's almost like my insecurities has made me sort of a kind of a people pleaser. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want people to think any less of me, because I'm supposed to be the nice one. I'm supposed to be the positive one. You know what I mean? So sometimes, I won't say what's truly on my mind. As vocal as I am, I won't say certain things that's on my mind out of fear that I'm going to be perceived in a different way. You know what I'm saying? And that goes across the board. It's not even just in my relationship, just period. Like my biggest insecurities now is dealing with my platform, wanting to truly fulfill this purpose, not wanting to do it wrong, not wanting to fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? And I've had to learn how to keep my emotions in check. I'll give you an example where I could have messed something up. So I've been taking these entrepreneurial training classes. I've told y'all about that. Y'all should definitely look into it. Let me know after, inbox me and I'll give you information. But the gentleman, my teacher, was trying to tell me something about personal credit and how your personal, what I'm saying, finances are, and that I need to be mindful of that if I'm really wanted to be serious about being in business. So I got completely insecure when he said that, because of my situation on disability, doing all that I can with all of my resources, doing this by myself. So what he was just telling me was like, listen, if you're gonna come out here and get these grants, just understand these people not just gonna give you no bread. They're gonna want to know and see what you got going on to make sure you do what you're supposed to do with the money that they're giving you. What I heard, you know what I'm saying, is that if your finances ain't on point, we ain't giving you shit. That's what I heard. You know what I'm saying? That's what my insecurities was telling me, that what you've been doing is in vain because your finances isn't on point. Ain't nobody about to give you a damn thing, no matter how nice you are. I don't care what your purpose is, how you trying to help people. Your shit ain't together, so they ain't about to give you shit. That's what I heard, and it brought me to tears. Now I didn't. Now I'm not extra. I ain't about to curse nobody out or, completely sabotage my situation. You know what I'm saying? But I did come to tears, and he was explaining to me, like, listen, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. None of that. I'm just telling you what it is. And I'm just glad that, again, I don't completely just go off the rails. But I know my insecurities, because of what I have going on. It's fearful, you know what I'm saying, to hear stuff like that, to take that rejection, because that's what it feels like. It feels like I was being rejected. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying so hard to do this, and why is this always a roadblock kind of thing? So I've had to learn to keep my emotions down. So now I'm looking for the person who gonna give it to me blunt. I seek out that person now to give it to me straight, because I need to know, because that's the type. Business is a cutthroat situation. Now I need to get a certain place for me to change it. I want to change how business runs. I ain't gonna lie. I don't like that you have to be mean and disrespectful, and you know what I'm saying, and all that, just to make sure that people respect you enough to handle business right. I don't agree with that. But I got to get to the money first for me to change those things. You see what I'm saying? I can't, me, little old me by myself, that's not going to change nothing. But once I'm up there, then I can make some changes. So I'm trying to build up that armor. So that is an example of how, your volume is not, I can't hear you. But that is my example of how my insecurities, you know what I'm saying, potentially could sabotage, or I want to say sabotage for
Hello?
my, there you go.
You got me?
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right, awesome
Yeah,
sauce.
we're gonna be whole sound engineers, visual engineers by the end of this.
That's what's up. It's work in progress, work in progress. Again, see how we not gonna let our insecurities mess this up.
Hmm.
We winging this right now, but we gonna come out and get this healing regardless with a smile. You see what I'm saying? We gonna work it out.
Serious.
But yeah, back to the task at hand. Yeah, our insecurities, how we think of ourselves, you know what I'm saying? We can project that on the outside. And remember, everything starts with a thought. So
Hmm.
create your life with your thoughts. So if you are going off of your insecurities and fear, that's exactly what you're gonna get.
Hmm.
It'll take you that much longer to get where you're supposed to get when
Hmm.
you do that.
Insecurities doesn't always have to be physical either. Insecurities can come from being from physical. I mean, from financial. It can come from not knowing who you are. It can come from family traumas. A lot of people who don't know their parents or wasn't raised with their parents get insecure about who they are and their genetics, their lineage. And so there's a lot of different things that can stir up insecurities. So when you're dealing with insecurities, don't think of it as what the world's taught us is insecurities, as far as not looking a certain type of way on the physical, because insecurities run on every level. And so, yeah.
Yeah. I think the biggest ones is the value, because looks is one thing, but it all boils down to how we value ourselves.
Hmm.
See what I'm saying? When you don't see value in who you are, the way you are, that's when that becomes a problem. And of course, society has a lot to do with that because of all of
Hmm.
the expectations that they put on us and whatnot, and we feed into it. We have to hold ourselves accountable. We feed into those things, so we
Hmm.
have to do better. Now,
Yeah, because I mean, look, everywhere you look right now, especially living in Atlanta, big booties is it. So like, I understand how you come down here with a little booty, and if you ain't securing who you are, you're gonna be walking out the doctor's office on your belly rolled out in a heartbeat. Like,
now
you,
think of how me as a big girl feel about you being. See how you feel about the big booty. I feel about your body. Period. I wish I could eat like you and look like that. Okay.
well, I think that my conclusion with that is that food is supposed to be an experience that I get to really enjoy this life. So I feel like Spirit just kind of gave me the vessel that would be able to handle me kind of being reckless at times,
Okay.
getting to eat what I want because I really enjoy food.
I will not be envious of your path and all of your gifts from the ancestors. You go on and do your thing and enjoy that. That ain't my gift. They didn't do that for me. Okay. I even look at the wrong thing. It's a problem. So yeah. But
Yeah, I'm
it's
a.
so funny with that though. Again, insecurities. Like it's almost so I saw something earlier was saying how everybody wants what other people have.
Mhm.
I did a show with a sister. We have to have her on there because you weren't there for that episode. My sister, my friend Akila from Florida.
Yes, I remember.
Her and I did a show back a little while back, talking about those differences because
Mhm.
she's small like you. Now she got that donk though. I was young saying she got a donk.
Yeah.
She got 4 kids too. She got 4 kids too.
See,
So
and I
she
feel
got
like
that donk.
my uterus been taking cheated me out of my thickness. Cause you're right. My mom, she was skinny like me, but after that second, third child, upper don't still is just fat. So
Figured,
I
figured. Well, she got a down. She got about 4 kids, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But her whole life, she's been just as small as you, and
yeah.
she didn't like it. So where I'm sitting here on, as good girls always talk about, yeah, we done had this conversation. She talk about how pulling on your skin and whatnot. Talk about this is fat. Yo, it makes me laugh every time women do that. But
Yeah.
that's their reality for them because their bodies are, you guys' bodies are small. That
Right.
is too much weight, for you. And just like we want to be some of us want to be your size, there's a lot of you that want to be bigger. There's a lot of
Right.
you who've
I
been
mean,
bullied for being skinny. There's a lot of you who have been bullied for your size.
I was gonna say I was bullied all during elementary school for being skinny and like a stick. So it's
See?
like that's definitely one of the things that motivated me into getting into bodybuilding and putting on weight was just because I got tired of being bullied from my side. Like I had grown women as an adult. I worked in a paper factory and had like 50-year-old women bullying me saying I was on drugs. And I was like 150 at the time. And I had to stand on the scale. And the scale said like 153, 155. And they were like, oh, that scale's broken. And like literally like 20 years old getting bullied by women 30 years plus her
And
age.
you know why? Because they were jealous of you.
Right.
Because in their minds, they want the body that you just so frivolously have. I know that sounds absurd, but I promise you that's the thought process. Because again, we allow the society and what we think look good because in their they want to be you. They
Yeah.
can't be. So let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me throw daggers at you for being who you are because I can't be that. And this is how your insecurities can sabotage what's for you because you very well could have been a good friend to them. You very well could have been somebody that was supposed to be important in their life, but because of the way that they treated you,
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying they now don't have the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever that, whatever that relationship, could have came out to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we really have to I feel like we all have to have this, we always think of selfishness. It's kind of that way. Understand that just like you want things, other people want things. So we have to stop really trying to be what the other person is and just be yourself.
Right.
Everybody is who they are for a reason. I I'm a big girl for a reason. I'm gonna keep it real. I done thought about it a million times and promise you, me being a big girl made me a modest woman. Don't get me wrong, I can get all wild and outside when I want to, you know what I'm saying, all that jazz. But for the most part, I'm like my mom. She's a very modest woman. You know what I'm saying? Shh. I'd had more sexual
See,
partners
I was
with
gonna
my
say
mom.
yes, a curse because
Yeah,
I be wanting to have my body out. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm
see,
trying to.
I could never do that. Another thing, I was all like I said, I was always that girl.
Well,
I was
not
always,
like in the like not where my titties and stuff is hanging out, but
what
like
you
my
mean? I
short,
wish,
my
girl,
legs kind of
please.
go for
No,
days, so
I'm
I
from
don't have no
Africa.
choice but
I
to
wish
have
I
short.
could let my titties hang. Girl,
I
I
can't.
wish I could let my titties hang and
I
just wear
wish I had
skirt.
titties.
She said, "Oh, I can dig it." See how we wish. You know what I'm saying? You see what I mean? See, if my joints were smaller, I could probably rock some of the. You know what I'm saying? Like again,
Right.
it's just pros and cons.
I
You,
no.
you
I've
can do what you
started.
do. I could do what I do because I
Yeah.
personally feel like that's what make parts of what makes me who I am. One of the reasons why I don't have men issues. You see what I'm saying? Because I was always the sister. So I attracted a different energy from men because I didn't look like that girl, because I wasn't small and had a fat ass and thin waist and all that jazz. They didn't lust after me, but they respected me.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a different perspective on men because they didn't like me like that. And I feel like being a big girl, being a natural, all of those things, you know what I'm saying, aided into that. Because
Mm.
that was another thing back in the days. Your hair need to be permed. Yeah, the natural thing is new.
I know.
That's the new phenomenon.
Yeah.
Back when I was in junior high school and high
I
school,
had
yeah,
that
you
creamy
needed
crack
that
on your head
shine,
all
you
the
needed that
time.
doobie.
My mom
Yeah, you
burning the
needed that
hell out of my hair.
doobie. Yeah, and that wasn't me. I wasn't that girl. I was the pro fat girl. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my gosh, you'd be so proud of Skylar because dealing with insecurities and being a mom, talking about childhood traumas. My daughter, I had to cut all her hair off when she was like in kindergarten, first grade, because she
Mhm.
had accidentally put relaxer in her hair. And then my mom just kept putting relaxers in her hair. So her hair was like terrible, really. And she had a very beautiful grade of hair when she was growing up. I mean, as a baby. And so we shaved it all off in the last 2 years. She's been keeping it braided and stuff. And so I called her today, and her hair was like down here past her little nose. And she's like, look, she
Yeah.
was up there trying to learn how to braid it herself with hair. She's trying to, I was like, okay, then, girl, go ahead.
Tell
And
her
I
to
was like,
do
aren't
her
you glad we
thing.
went ahead and cut your hair, when you were young so you could have it healthy now entering high school? And she's like, yeah. I'm like,
I got a story for that too. I cut my hair in 2019.
uh-huh.
That was an insecurity of mine because my
Mm-hmm.
hair was the one thing that everybody found attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Even boys. There you got the nice braided hair, you know what I'm saying? So that was the one attractive thing about me. So growing up, I felt like I couldn't wear short hair. If my hair was short, I would look like a boy and I would be unattractive. So I never wanted to cut my hair.
Mm-hmm.
But then I lost my arm. I had locks then. You know what I mean? And I hadn't been taking care of them, you know what I'm saying, the months prior to that. I really wasn't taking care of myself at all. I was just working and hustling, at the time, trying to get on my feet. So I just felt like it was a rebirth, so I needed to cut it off. I hated it.
Yeah.
Now this is that now let me get the time right. This is when I lost my arm. Hated it. I've got to find a picture. Matter of fact, I've shown that picture with my bandage. I felt like I looked like somebody's old ass fat auntie. I
Mm.
did not. That's how I felt. I did not like it. I put braids right in immediately after that. But then in 2019, I had went through what I like to call my DNA explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Went through this new rebirth situation, and to be quite honest, it was at the time it was just one arm friendly to cut that shit off. Like I'm trying to keep this up, and it's just too much. So fuck it. So, you know what I'm saying? So I cut it, and the first two times didn't like the haircuts at all. They made me look like a dude. One guy gave me this. I might as well have been Sergeant Plump Queen. He gave me the mean crew, mohawkish kind of, yeah, it was terrible. But
Oh,
I made the best of it. I used to wear my little cat ears. I did whatever I could to make myself feel feminine and to look feminine and
that's nice.
whatnot. But I got over that after a while. I cut it 3 more times after that. You know what I'm saying? And just realize that, like, what's the name says, I am not my hair. You are not any of these things. I'm not my arm. I'm not my hair. None of this stuff.
This
You can
is just a
strip
vessel.
your hair. Yeah, this is just a vessel. That doesn't make you who you are. That doesn't make you beautiful. It doesn't make you. Don't get me wrong. It can be attractive, but if you're attractive, it don't matter if you're bald. You know what I'm saying? Or you got, you know what I'm saying, hair down to your toes.
Right. And then if
Beauty
it's
is
the right
beauty,
person, yeah, they're gonna
and to
find
the
you
right
attractive on
person,
your best day, your worst day,
absolutely. Like my king,
um,
in this light, he's a cliche man. He like women with hair. He like to pull on it. You know what I'm saying? He feels like short haircuts are for men. That's a man thing. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. But if I cut my he was sure rubbing on my bald head. I wasn't all the way bald, but he sure rubbing on it. You know what I'm saying? While it was short, you know what I mean? He wasn't about to leave me or definitely stop fucking me because my hair was short. And I
mhm.
had to come to that realization because in my mind, I ain't gonna lie, I was insecure a little bit. It didn't stop me from doing it, but I was definitely thinking about how he was gonna feel about it.
Mhm.
He loves me. Real love, you know what I'm saying? He loves me for who I am, not all this other stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure he prefers me with hair, but that doesn't change how he feels.
Right, exactly, because he realizes it's still you.
Absolutely. So yeah, I've done my due diligence to keep my insecurities at bay so I don't ruin my relationship.
Right, because ways that you can go ruining your relationship is like when you go imposing your fears and limitations on your partner
Absolutely.
and start trying to control what they can and can't do based off of how comfortable you are with the
Absolutely.
environments they'll be in. Because when I was married, I had it to where my ex-husband, I didn't go to the gym the entire 3 years I was with him. And I love the gym. Didn't go to the gym, didn't have certain jobs, no jobs where it was too much masculine energy, Like he wasn't even excited about me starting work at the hospitals because I'd be working with doctors. And so like that put a lot of like I turned down a 2-day fashion show walking for 6 designers in Cincinnati because he was insecure with me going and the thought of having a model girlfriend. And so I blew that opportunity for myself. And so, it's not only your life that you can affect when you are insecure, but if you're in a relationship, more than likely, if you're insecure, your partner's miserable because you're imposing those and reflecting those and projecting those insecurities onto them every day. You know, they're 20 minutes late for work because of traffic and you blowing them up as soon as they're a minute late to the house, accusing them of stuff and stressing them out, and they've been at work stressed out all day, and they trying to stick around because they love you. But in reality, if they was to leave for their peace of mind, they wouldn't be wrong.
On the most basic level, we are human. We have human needs. We are social species. That's hardwired survival to need community. Insecurity is fear for being different and therefore outcast of or left to die alone. So, yes, our insecurity causes us to manipulate others to gain the safety and connections that we need.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You see it all the time. You'll see
Yes.
women lie to men and say they pregnant
Mhm.
just to keep that man around, because they know if they
Yep.
lose that man, they're losing their stability, their resources, that safety that they have, even if they
Yep.
don't make that man feel safe. They don't care about that. It's just about that survival mode. It's about being stuck in survival mode and not being able to move forward and release the things that are causing you to have that, comfort or
Yep. That's why I say love is a service. And this
hmm
is why I have my thought processes on marriage and all of that stuff. You cannot make and force anyone, to love and be with you. It is not fair, to just use somebody for your own security.
your own energy gain.
Yeah, that's not fair. That's not love, and that is nothing that God would put together.
Especially if you're not willing to give that energy back to them.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like it relationships are just not, unless you want to be a slave.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? Unless you want, if that's what that contract is really about. If you want some business taken care of, if that's how that works, cool. You have a right to do that. But don't expect loyalty and unconditional love. You know what I'm saying? And positive energy exchange. You know what I'm saying? Like that is done naturally. You cannot force that. You cannot force that on nobody. I don't care what TV show or movie you watch. As a matter of fact, it's gonna segue into my little example. That example, how you try to force somebody to love you and how that kind of that throws them off, that actually makes them want to go farther away from you because
hmm
you're trying to force that situation. When it comes down to love and connection, that has to be natural.
hmm
Just think about when you was a kid and you and your friendships. That happened naturally. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? For the most part, you was in the schoolyard, whatever it was, first day of school. We in
Yeah, I
the
just
same homeroom. Yeah, it wasn't. We're freshmen, so we gotta be friends.
right.
Kind of thing. Nah, you gravitated to who you gravitated to, and those more than likely, are the ones who you got 20 plus years with because
hmm
it was natural. You didn't force the situation. That
Yeah,
goes with all things. So again, if you're getting married, I don't knock nobody hustle. I don't knock nobody do what you do. So if it's plausible for you financially, all that good stuff, stability, if that's what you need marriage for, fine. Just don't expect, like I said,
right. To be
love,
emotionally
loyal,
spiritual.
emotional. Yeah,
Mhm.
you can't expect that because that's not what you signed up for. What you
Right.
signed up for is stability,
Financial,
financial stability. That's
not emotional
not
stability,
emotional stability.
mental stability.
Yeah, that's what you
That's
said.
why you have a lot of these women in these big mansions and they're miserable because their husbands, even if they're not abusing them, their husbands can just simply work a lot. And they thought it'd be okay to be home 2 months out the year, or I mean 2 months at a time by themselves and stuff. But then they realize real fast it's not. But they got everything they need,
You
you
got
know?
that, but you're not fulfilled. Money
Right.
and all of that stuff, that helps you again, it keeps you stable in a country, or in a world where you have to be stable in some form of fashion. That's all that gives you. It doesn't give you, you know what I'm saying, internal fulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
That isn't why you were born. That's not your purpose. So
Right.
that's why things are missing. This is why you have millionaires and quadrillionaires and celebrities who be killing themselves.
Facts.
They got everything that most of y'all out here try to get and be like, and they offing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So you really got to reevaluate that. So I'm gonna give you guys an extreme example of how your insecurities can sabotage, could almost kill you. So I don't know if anyone has seen this, but this came out the year I lost my accident. It's called the 4400. It is my noble opinion that they talking about the 144,000. They just needed to, switch up, take some numbers off, and
Mm-hmm.
know how they do. All right, so long story short, this is pretty much about a 4,400 people that was taken from the future, from the past, given powers and brought from in the future and brought back to the past. And their whole point of doing that is to stop some type of tragedy. You already know how this goes. They fuck up, they been fucking up, you know what I'm saying, messing things up. So they try to go back in time and fix their mistakes and all that jazz. All right. Well, these people that came back with powers, it's these powers are different. So this particular person had a power where they force you to deal with undealt with emotional issues. So if this person is around you, they pretty much bring to life your subconscious to you. So I'll give you an example. One of the ladies had an issue with a boyfriend in college. She's clearly 20, it's been 10, 15, almost 20 years since she's been in college. But she was in college her freshman year, met her man. They was gonna get married, have children, and he cheated on her. Okay. She never got over that. So you're talking 15, 20 years. She's carrying subconsciously and deeply in her emotions this disdain and, you know what I'm saying, holding on to a heartache from this relationship. And matter of fact, this is the lady I'm talking about right here. Okay. So what happened was this particular guy just popped up, almost like a ghost pop up. Only she can see and hear him. And they're literally having these conversations. And it was forcing her to deal with the fact that she was still upset with him all the way up until this day for cheating on her. She pretty much could not, she has never been in a positive or a healthy relationship since because she is too afraid to give herself freely anymore. So men will come into her life, they'll love her, they're really nice guys, but she's always had this wall. Once it gets to that certain spot, she sabotages it because she is fearful that she's going to give her all like she did when she was a young and naive girl. She doesn't want to feel that pain again. So the best way to do that is to keep everybody at bay. Men do this naturally. Y'all get your heart broke once, that's a
Done.
wrap.
Done, 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 done.
That's a done deal. You know what I'm saying? And y'all have this, you know what I'm saying, like this wall forever kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Another example, there was now here's the extreme part of it. She was a great case because she actually dealt with her issues. She realized that this was one of the powers of the 4400, and she knew that she had to deal with the shit. There wasn't nothing she could do about it. So she dealt with it and got over it. So she was good. Well, there were other people that this guy was trying to do that for as well. So he did all of that. But these particular people did not want to deal with their issues. And they died. Because the thing is you have to deal with your issues, and the more you avoid them, the worse it gets. Now, this was like I said, an extreme metaphorical, you know what I'm saying, example of that, but that's exactly what happens in real life.
Mm-hmm.
This is when you think about why do everything this keeps on happening to me? Why I keep meeting these certain type of people? Why does it just seems like again, no matter how hard I try, it always seems to
There's a
get worse
lesson
and
you
worse.
gotta get.
Because you are missing the lesson. You are choosing not to deal with what is. So now what I say is the ancestors or the universe is making that lesson harder.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, the point is you cannot avoid learning the lesson.
Right, whether it be this life, next life,
Not do the work.
right.
And that's the point. When you don't do the work, let me give it to you biblically. My mama says this all the time. God also said in the Bible, those who know and don't do will get beat with many stripes. So when you know to do better and you don't do better, there are consequences to that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't pray that away.
Yeah, I was saying that don't go away.
It doesn't go away. It shows up and continues to show
and it
up
gets worse
in
and
your
worse
life. And
until
it
you
gets
get.
worse. It gets worse. Kind of like in abusive relationships is a perfect example. It always starts off like niggas don't be coming out the rip beating ass. Okay, they don't. I know that I'm
It's
being
not
about
funny.
it,
You're
but
right
it's
though.
not funny. But it's the truth. They don't come off like that. It starts small.
Them
Them
little
red
demeaning
flags
comments.
that you ignore. You know what I'm saying? You think it's cool, but it can end up in your death. The
Calling you
first,
bitch that one time and you
right,
hee ha it off.
the
Yeah.
disrespect. The first time he slapped you and say, "Oh, I'm sorry,"
Mm-hmm.
nah, that was your cue right there, the very first time.
Right.
But
Exactly.
I know he's a good person, and he got problems, and all the excuses that you make when your ancestors is giving you the information that you need. They're
Mm-hmm.
telling you what it is, and you're choosing not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't commit to life, you commit to death. Oh, Ashe! I'm going to quote you, Megan, on that
Mm-hmm.
part. If you don't commit to life, you will commit to death. That is a whole fact.
Yeah.
And
You get that duality, but I mean, you can be balanced, but you gotta be walking either in your every day. You either in your higher form or your lower form.
that's a
Point
fact.
blank. Period. I mean, you can be balanced sometimes, but more than likely, most of the time, you on one of those, and you
One
closer
or
to
the
one
other,
end
or
than the
one or the
other.
other.
You
That's a
know.
fact. And that's a
That's
fact.
why
And
people be
that's
like, I'm about to go
life.
on demon time. You know, like now demon time is popular. It's popular to go get fucked up and do whatever people do when they
Mhm.
fucked up with their friends, you know, and just go be heathens and sexual demons and, you know, drug addicts. And like that's demon time and that's fun time for the society, you know. And
Mhm.
so like every day you wake up, like if you go out with your friends and you drinking, technically you're in demon time because you're not putting anything of life into your body. You're killing your vessel while you're out hanging out with your friends. In reality, you know, that's just science. Like it don't matter how positive the environment is, you're still poisoning your vessel, you
That's true.
know.
That's a
So
fact.
you're not in angel mode if you're killing yourself. You know?
Fact. But we don't look at it that way. And we need to honestly start looking at ourselves in that light. We look at good and evil, God and the devil, from a religious perspective and not understanding that's an energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What you call Jesus or whatever, all that is just walking in your higher self. What you
Mm-hmm.
call the devil or Satan or whatever, that's you walking in your lower self.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what that is.
Exactly.
You make choices. Again, the choices that you make. And a lot of times when you make choices and your insecurities, as you call it puts you on demon time
Yeah.
because you're thinking nothing but about the how this can go wrong.
And
All of
negative thoughts.
the things, this is gonna turn out to be
Yeah.
instead of being positive, so you can manifest that. You
Mm-hmm.
manifest your life. I know a lot of people don't feel that way. Like I don't have myself in this position. Like my job, they are assholes because they're assholes. You know what I'm saying? That's not. But you don't understand is your experience in that environment will change when your thought process changes.
Right. And if your thought process changes and it still don't change, then maybe you just need to leave the environment.
You need to leave the environment.
You
That's a
know,
clear
because I'll
sign
quit
that
a
you
job in
need
a
to leave that
heartbeat. I'm sorry,
environment.
but I'm the world's worst
Exactly.
for using references because as soon as it gets stressful, I'm out. And I don't, and if it's that bad, like the one job, they would go do things like buy the entire office coffee except for me, but I'm the hardest worker and I'm up here, the nicest one, but just to be mean. So do you get a 2 weeks notice or am I just gonna wake up one day and just get sick and tired of being sick and tired dealing with y'all crap? I'm not gonna, you don't deserve that energy from me. You know, I'm not typing up no letter for y'all. Like y'all been making me miserable. You know, but what I'm not gonna do is keep waking up miserable and going into a job to allow y'all to continue to make me miserable despite my best efforts of trying to be positive. If I know that that is y'all sole mission and me speaking my truth can't fix that environment, then I will remove myself.
That's how that's supposed to go. And that's exactly how that is supposed to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And discernment and understanding yourself and who you are, actually having valuing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Will bring you to that conclusion. You value yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
already know that what your energy is worth, and you're not about to let nobody fuck with that. So,
And
and
you know,
for no bread and not for no job. A lot of
mm-mm,
people don't think that way because of insecurities. Because you
mm,
need that security of that job, and I get it. I'm not trying to knock nobody because I get it. The way our society is set up, that's how it is. I don't care what happens in your life. That rent is always due. That light bill is always due. That water bill is always due. You know what I'm saying? Food is always needed. And that's how we got it set up. But when you truly value yourself, And you know what I'm saying? And this is why I say getting tapped into spirit, because this has been my biggest lesson. Understanding that you are where you are supposed to be at all times, and your angels
Exactly.
will always provide. There's always provisions. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I've had to work on my insecurities where that is concerned. I cannot sabotage myself as far as at least with my ancestors, not with other people, with them. I don't need them thinking that I'm being disrespectful and not
Period.
grateful, you know what
Right.
I'm saying, for what they have given me thus far. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm trying to work on because, yeah, I don't need them to not to stop. I keep giving.
Right.
I'm going to just be patient and just let it flow the way y'all want it to flow
Because I
because
feel
when
like,
I really sit there and think about it, I can't complain about nothing. Everything that I need, it's provided for.
mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what it is. Now, again, success and needs differ depending on who the person is. But for my life and what I got going on, provisions are always made under any circumstance. It could be the 11th hour. It could be 11:59, 12 o'clock.
Girl, there's a will, there's a
Right
way.
there. It's right there for me, right at 12. What
I'm
Christians say,
telling you.
the Lord don't come when you want, but it always on time.
Yo, listen, you guys, I was up here getting stressed out about my financial situations. Not, she said, yes, powerlessness is the illusion of not having a choice. So to heal from that is remembering that our power is choice. And you know what? That leads to what I was about to say. I was over here struggling, you guys, like these last few weeks. Mama ain't been bringing no bacon in at all, and I'm not used to that, like at all. Like, so I was over here the last few days, and my breaking point, like, look. I don't feel like a lady because I don't feel like I'm taking care of myself. I didn't have to ask for money one too many times in the last few weeks, and I don't like it about it anymore, you know? And so yesterday I was like, you know what? I realized it was my pride. My pride was the reason why, because I have been a business owner for the last 3 years, you know? And so for me, it's like, I don't want to go to nobody's job and be like, excuse me, are you hiring? Do you have an application? And it's to the point where it's like it don't matter what job it is, you need a job. If it's gotta be McDonald's, girl, it's gotta be McDonald's. You
Right.
know? But at the same time, I knew what my soul was not gonna tolerate. Peace and love, Felicia.
Yeah, I be
Miss
putting in
you,
the
sister.
comments. Yeah, I be putting in
Yes.
the comments. Yeah, do you think?
So, but for me, it was like, what was dang? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Like,
Sorry.
cause it's okay. But basically, it was one of those things where first off, yes, everything that's been happening in my life has been aligning me like stars. Is one thing comes into alignment, then another thing, and then it still feels out of whack, but then another thing comes into alignment. It's just been taking a little bit of time, but yesterday I made the decision. My pride is the reason why I haven't went and applied for someone's job, and in reality that's got to go. I no longer have time to cater that. Like, reality is I had an amazing business, I failed, and I got a lot of lessons. So next time I have a phenomenal business, point blank period. So like I had to realize that did I think I was better than those people at the other jobs? Is that why I didn't want to do it? Like, straight up.
It's
But
interesting.
then I had to think, how am I better than them? And they the ones with paychecks right now. I'm over here asking for money, you know? Like, so,
Hey,
like, when I say I had to kick myself off a high horse, and then you know what? Had all that happen today, woke up, random friend contacted me after like 4 years. And basically, within 2 hours, I had a job making really great money. I start tomorrow and it will all be okay. And my boss is a beautiful soul who's like, I can already tell, like a mama energy. She's like, honey, I like, she heard my situation is like, you'll have your daughter, you'll have your home, and your situation figured out by October. So like, I'll have a phlebotomy job. I'll be back medical field a little bit, which will help me kind of with getting clients. Don't tell the medical field, but I'm about to infiltrate like a bug, you know.
speaking of which, since you said that,
Yeah. Oh, look. So yes. So we will definitely do that. I would love to do that for you, Felicia. Oh, so yeah, it's definitely been working out and stuff, but it's like, sometimes like you said, it's at 11:59, when you done pushed off your car payment one too many weeks. And you just know they ain't about to take that excuse no more. And you like some guy gives spirit, like, but why it gives is because you keep that faith, you know, because like that's really what it's been. I could have went and got any job over these last few weeks, but then I would have just been doing it out of fear. It wouldn't have been something that spirit brought to me. It would have been me forcing myself in a position where then I probably would have been miserable dealing with crap, miserable people, or I would have been in that energy compatible mode trying to protect my energy my entire shift. So this job, I'm just driving in the car delivering specimens, which is a full circle because like my first
Mm.
place is like at my first it's the company that I had my first x-ray job at. So you know.
If I can in 48 hours get a situation like that, I would get back. I might get back into the workforce too. I'm
Yeah.
not, and it took you 48 hours, you know what I'm saying, to
Uh,
manifest that. So that's coming to the point with understanding, you know what I mean? And that's very dope of you to be accountable to thinking of your mindset on why you wasn't getting a job. Because most people's just like, it is what it is, but nah, you looked inside like maybe I would thought I was a little bit better than everybody
I
else.
did,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying and whatnot. So my ancestors had to bring me down a peg because don't get me wrong, you special, star seed, all that good stuff. Don't you know what I'm saying? You don't never
Uh,
not know who the fuck you are.
right, exactly.
But just understand that everybody is who the fuck they are too. You know
Right,
what I'm
exactly.
saying? And just like you got leaders, you got worker bees. That's
Right.
not a bad thing. Everybody
Well,
plays their role, and we have to understand that and not thinking that this status is higher than that status. And you know what I'm
and
saying?
not only that, it wasn't even necessarily that. It's like everyone has their phases. Like one of my friends was saying, Misha, it's okay. I went from making seven figures to being in my mom's house, living in her roof, It goes that fast. So it's just that there's phases to it. So you don't know what jobs your coworker next to you at Burger King could have had in the past. And they just down on their luck or didn't want to go back to their work field or something. So that's what it's more so about is realizing
Or
that,
you can be there to meet people. What
yeah.
you being in this space so you can meet the right
Well,
person.
I'm happy I'm be in my car. So it's gonna be
I can
just
dig it.
my
I can dig it.
music.
No, no,
I'm
you're gonna be by
straight.
yourself. Hey, but here's another thing. Again, even with that, even when you gonna talk to somebody, you got to drop that stuff off. You got to sign papers, and I'm
Mm,
sure you got to go through security, and all that. You just never know. You could be walking by. Just a scenario come to my head. You could be walking by, going through security, whatever. But the security guard is on TikTok and he done saw you celestial Reiki, you know what I'm saying, doing your thing, you know what I'm saying, whatnot, and be like, ain't you? Did,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Here's my link tree. You know what I'm saying? Like you just never know. You know what I
You're
mean?
absolutely right.
In that space of you just never know. So that's why just having gratitude and understanding you are where you're supposed to
And that
be and just and
gratitude.
that it's just so much better on your piece because at the end of the day, you can't predict the future.
Yo,
You can only walk towards it.
I was
So
just talking about my brother with this. I'm sorry, I'm listening.
are you good? Well, I would just say because we're gonna wrap it up tonight. We're gonna try to get y'all on out here in the hour. We be taking up all y'all evening with this healing and whatnot. Nope, go
Just
ahead.
FYI, it won't be in the evenings anymore, ladies and gents. It'll be Tuesdays and Thursdays mornings because my new job. So therefore, I'll be busy in the evenings now. So we're gonna do both Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. I'm sorry.
I know you're good. I'm gonna repeat that at the end before we wrap up. But yeah, so we can't wrap up. Listen, your insecurities are yours. They're
Mm,
your thoughts. It's not what's actually honestly going on, or whatever
right.
you think is how you feel about yourself. So this is in yourself, your self sabotage. When you don't
Mm,
believe in yourself. I was watching this other movie, but I ain't gonna get into it because that's probably gonna drag on. But the things that I watch now are always some type of message. You know what
yes,
I'm saying?
basically.
And I will mention this one. I say it all the time. The Avatar, not the blue one this time. the cartoon, the animated joint that turned into a movie type situation. That's a perfect example of that. The boy, he was trying to run from his destiny. He was afraid of being alone and not being like everybody else, being able to have a family, being able, you know what I'm saying, have a wife and kids and all that stuff, because his role in this on this planet was much bigger than that. He needed to be responsible for everybody, not just a wife and some kids. His purpose was for everyone. And to be quite honest, when you got family and kids and all that, your immediate family is your main focus. This
Right,
is why I
exactly.
believe that some people don't have children, not because, you know what I'm saying, they're less of a woman, not because
Right.
they're
It's just
lacking
that they don't
anything.
have the focus for it at the time.
Right. That's not their purpose to do that, because, we're all their children in a form of a fashion kind of thing. So he
Mm-hmm.
tried to run from it. And no matter what he did, 100 years went by. Ran into you. If you ever seen the story, he tried to run from his destiny, got into this ice storm. He was frozen alive for 100 years, woke up the same age, and had to start right where
He
he
left
ended up.
off. Mm-hmm.
His ancestors was like, sorry, buddy.
Tried it.
Try
Right.
again. You know what I'm
Right. He
saying?
tried it.
Try again. You cannot avoid your destiny,
Yeah,
and
or your lessons, or your
your lessons.
karma, or your
You
obstacles,
cannot, yeah, you cannot run
or
from
your blessings.
none
Because
of that.
what's for you is for you, and nothing can take it away from you. So it don't matter what options you make. Because if it's a blessing that's meant to be coming towards you, it's gonna come to you whether you go left or right. Period.
That is true, but I will say this. What's for you is for you, but sometimes you can fuck it up.
You can prolong that. You can definitely prolong it.
You're
You
not doing the work or do for you, because again,
hmm
those blessings and that growth is for you. But if you reject it, that's where what I say free will is. What
hmm
that's the free will, because the ancestors are always going to provide, but they can lead you to the water. They can't make you drink it though. So if you fuck
Just
up,
like
if
if
you
you get
sabotage,
that good looking man that comes and he's wealthy and well rounded and loves you and just wants to pamper you, and you over here like, but you too good to be true. But you don't really like me. But how many other females you talking to? You
yep,
know, whoopty whoop,
that,
whoopty whoop. And
that's it
he's
right
like, but I
there.
really just want
Get it
you. But
up.
you over here telling him he don't, to the point to where he start looking at your negatives. Well, like, maybe I don't. What is it about you that I don't know? you know.
Fucking it up. You know what I'm saying? You can, and that's where the sabotage comes in. So yeah, what's for you is for you, but you can sabotage those insecurities. Will sabotage it. And you know what I'm saying? And not to say that, and you may be able to get the chance again. You may not.
Right. And you got to be okay with
Guarantee.
that if you don't.
Yeah, because love and affection, I believe, is for everybody, but it may not be from where you might mess up that first person. It could have been your twin flame. And we got a lot of soulmates, but you could fuck up your twin flame situation. I know several people that met their twin flame, and because they won't do the work, you fucked it up. You know what I'm saying? Now you can't be in that connection. And as intense as it is, and how much growth you got to go through it, it is the most exhilarating and the most fulfilling, you know what I'm saying, feeling that you can have with another person.
Mm-hmm.
I can promise you that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people will miss out on that because of
Mm-hmm.
your insecurities, because you're making decisions based, you know what I'm saying, based off of your insecurities, getting
Yep.
married to the wrong person because you in love with this person, but this person got the money. You know what I'm saying? And your daddy told you that you were supposed to be with this
There,
person because
man,
your
'cause
daddy and mama talk thinking about your stability, but
and
you
that's another thing you
him.
have to realize. Your insecurities a lot of times ain't even your voice. It's the voice of
Other
other
people.
people. It can
Yep.
be the kids at school. It can be your brothers, your siblings. It can be your parents, your grand ego. It is not your voice. A lot of those times you thought you could sing until someone told you couldn't sing.
Yep.
And that's why you're insecure in your voice.
That's so
You
true.
know, you thought you were beautiful until someone said you were ugly, just because they thought they were ugly. It wasn't even the truth. It was just their reflection of themselves they was trying to put on you. But you go your whole life with that thought and that label, and now that's who you are. But in reality, that was never you, and it never. The only reason it became you is because you accepted that title.
Yep. All facts. All facts. Since you said singing, I deflected that as a child. I was out when I was in high school. Anybody, if anybody from LAG is watching, there was a teacher. His name is Mr. Reberg, Ramon Reberg, R.I.P. My nigga. But Mr. Reberg hated my guts, boy. I do not know what that man had against me and why, but he did not like me, and he felt like I was one of the most untalented singers ever in my year of high school. I don't know what it was and why, but he did not like me. But instead of that discouraging me, it kind of motivated me because he told my mom could vouch. One what do they call them, parent teacher night. He came
Hmm.
to parent teacher night, talked to my mom, and I flat out told her, "Your daughter can't sing." You know what I'm saying? Flat out. And
And
you
yeah.
flat out. But you know what? I think my mom's response is what helped me with, you know what I'm saying, with that insecurity, because she says, okay, that may be your opinion, but the reason why she's in the school is for you to teach her. Oh, see, you're not just gonna say, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
That's
because
the
mama
whole
had your
fact.
back. Like,
And here's another thing
and are
too.
you good at your job or not?
Right. That part. That part. So that gave me just a level of confidence on that, because I wouldn't have made it here if, you know what I'm saying, if I didn't have something. And the point of
Hmm.
me coming to the school is for you to develop that. So
Right.
I can get better. There is hope for me to get better and whatnot. Long story short, I took his class as an elective. During that parent teacher conference, that was an elective I was taking in my freshman year, because I really wanted to be a vocal major. I got in as an art major, but I really, really wanted to sing. So I took an extra class freshman year and I passed his class. So with all me not being talented and can't sing, I sung on pitch at the concert.
Heck
I
yeah.
got a B. I got a B plus in your class. You
Yeah.
didn't fail me. So I went to the dean at the time when I retook the test to try to get into vocal for sophomore year. Guess what? Failed the test. Failed the audition again. But when I went to Miss Fleischer, she was like, "Oh, you're in Mr. Reberg's class." I was like, "Yes." She was like, "What did you get?" I said, "I got a B plus." Okay, you will be in V103 sophomore year. So the very person who told me that I wasn't talented was the very reason why I even got in the vocal department in the first place.
Exactly.
He motivated me to try harder. I even took his class. You think I can't sing, so maybe if I take your class, you know what I'm saying, and I meet your standards, then clearly I'm on point. That's how I took that. You know what I'm saying? So let's start teach, because I was a kid, you know what I'm saying, and I didn't overly tell my mom about him and all that other jazz. But you know what I'm saying, talk to your children about that, to try to allow some of that stuff, because you don't get to dictate how other people feel and what, you know, and what a lot of things that go on. But make sure you teach them to transmute. I'm gonna use your word, to
There you go, transit.
transmute. You know what I'm saying, that negative energy into manifesting what you want, because
And
that's
to be able to recognize when someone is just speaking negativity into their life and when not to receive it. Teach them to use their
absolutely.
discernment on
Yes,
what's truth and for them and what's not. Like
absolutely.
when kids they come home and so said this, teach them. And that that's not you.
That's
And
facts.
do
That's a
you we
fact.
should start teaching our children rather than matching energies or an eye for an eye, stand on a higher path to where no matter what someone says, it doesn't shake them emotionally because they know it's not true.
That's right.
My mom said this. My dad said this. Every
That's
morning
right.
I look in the mirror and my mommy has me doing affirmations. So I already told myself I was beautiful today. I already told myself I was going to have a great day at school and that I was smart and intelligent. If you teach your
Okay.
children how to do affirmations in the morning when they brushing their little teeth and getting their face washed and stuff, you'd have a lot less of them coming home being affected by what the other kids said.
That's
Because
it.
they've already spoke that life into themselves on top of what life you speak into them.
That's right. I 1,000% agree. This is why, coming out with that I am affirmations children's
Speaking
book.
of,
Yeah,
yes.
and we working out all the kinks. I know y'all been waiting on it, but it's a coming, and that is so true. You got to teach that at home, because you don't get to control the world. You don't
Mm,
get to control people's children. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what those
So
other
you're
kids are going through. You know what I'm saying? They don't may not have parents like, you know what I'm saying, you're a parent. And those children, that's how they communicate. Kids communicate through acting out. If there's something wrong with them, the only way they can tell you there's something wrong is by acting out. So that's where bullying comes from. You're
I
not
had one of my bullies reach out to me a few years ago. She bullied me my whole senior year. I was big. I was bullied all the way to my senior year, and she was the final one. To where I started, like she kind of taught me, look, first off, you have my size, lady. Like, what we not gonna do? But she reached out to me a few years ago and apologized. She was like, I'm sorry, I was a hurt girl just trying to, reflect, project that. She's like, I'm sorry for the way that I treated you. And I
that's
was like, and I received that and accept that apology,
that's
whether it been yesterday or 10 years ago. Like, thank you for that. So,
that's powerful. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? We need more of that. We
Hmm.
need more of that because they're just hurt kids. And it's
Mm.
sad, you know what I'm saying? Because they haven't been taught how to express that in a healthy way. You know
And
what I
I
mean?
appreciated her being able to hold herself accountable.
Vulnerable,
Because that's
absolutely.
a lot to be able to not talk to somebody for 10 years and
And then come up and
randomly
say
pop
that,
up like, hey,
that's
you remember
facts.
when I was effed up towards you? Yeah, I'm sorry
Mhm.
about that.
Yeah, most people will try to act like it never happened, and
Right,
if you bring it up, oh, that was years ago. You still on that
right,
this and all that stuff, not understanding that how traumatic that possibly was. You
right,
don't know how
exactly.
your negative energy affects people,
Hmm.
especially children. You know, when we're all
Hmm.
developing and getting to figure out
But
ourselves.
that's because us as parents, we do a terrible job at teaching our children the different environments and upbringings and cultures of other children. So like little Indian children, the scent of their food comes out in their bodies, or for, you know,
That's true.
melanin children, like my daughter, a lot of her children, she's one of their first black classmates, and she's usually the only little melanin girl or one of few melanin girls, and so I love that her and her friends, they are very open and understanding when it comes to, the different cultures and stuff of each other, and like being mindful of, not offending each other. But for like when I was growing up, like even my white teachers, they didn't know how to handle, the civil rights topic in school. So when the kids went being racist and I'm running out of class crying, they didn't know what to say for the situation, they just kind of staring. So I think it's important that we teach our children, um, to be open minded to different cultures, different lifestyles, different ethnicities, different ways of living, because your children more than likely these days gonna have classmates with two moms, two dads, three moms. Polly's up and rising again, you never know. So it's like you don't want them to think that they're weird or that another person's weird simply because they don't have the same life, you know?
It's respect. We need to teach each other respect, and
Exactly.
I blame religion on that because religion makes us believe that
That's true.
the way we do things is the right way. So if we're doing it the right way, you're doing it the wrong way.
Hmm.
I don't agree with that. You need to allow people to do what they do as long as you treat me, you know what I'm saying, in a healthy manner when I'm around you, and then it shouldn't matter what you do behind closed doors is your business. Now, if
Right.
you are a religious person and like I know there was a friend of mine in high school. We were cool all the way up until she got right with God. Straight up. When she got right with God, the whole, you're supposed to be, you're unequally yoked. You're not supposed to really deal with people that are in the world and all that jazz. And again, cool. Can't knock what you got going on. But that hurt my feelings as a kid.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I had always been conscious the whole time through high school because my mom got with her man when I was in junior high school. So I entered into high school conscious, or at least on the road to consciousness. So I was never a Christian. I wasn't a Christian the day I met her. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's not like we switched up in high school. Nah, I have never been a Christian. You know what I'm saying? But we weren't talking about those things. It was straight off of energy. Like I said, when you meet somebody and you know what I mean? So I was a cool person. I was a great friend. We actually used to cut school together. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't doing what she was doing, but I was there with her to make sure everything was all right, type situation. But it took her to get, to honestly put positivity in her life because that's what religion is supposed to be. But somehow that made me negative. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's not true. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That I didn't change at all. You were
right,
just now aware, you know what I'm saying, of something about me.
right.
So yeah, now it wasn't no beef or nothing crazy like that, but that changed our relationship, and I'm emotional, so that bothered me for a while.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying, so yeah, respect is the thing. Having respect for other people, allowing them to live their lives the way that they
Yeah,
want to,
understanding it's not got nothing to do with
nothing
you
to do with
in
you.
reality.
Yeah,
If
just
you don't like it, don't be around it.
absolutely. And another thing, don't judge nothing that you don't know about. Don't make
Hmm.
snap judgments. If you're not a Muslim, you can't speak on what Islam is about. Just because you see shit on TV, just because read, unless you know a Muslim and you done live there, you don't know. You
Right.
understand?
But yeah,
And there are things that we do as Americans and all that, you know what I'm saying? Like speaking about the Muslim thing, they talk about how the women got to cover themselves and how that's a form of oppression. They're not allowed to do this. Well, guess what? They think we're all whores. Are they right?
fact,
Are they right? You see what I'm saying?
fact.
Are they right? Are we all harlots and and loose women because what I'm saying, because we show our skin? Because that's how they believe. Are they right? No, they're not. So then we shouldn't have them same snap judgments. If they choose to cover their bodies, that's not a bad thing. You're muted. You muted. You going mad hard right now. We hear you. We feel the energy. We can't hear you. This is gonna be great. You are going in right now. We can't. We felt it. I seen it. And it
I
just.
don't know why I keep muting my mic, but yes, I said basically, in reality, they got a point. If your eyes is the only point that you can see, then you don't have to worry about a man coming at you with lustful energy because your thighs and butt cheeks and titties is hanging out,
We
or even
probably wouldn't have
peeking
this
out.
Me Too issue.
You
We
know.
probably wouldn't have this Me Too issue if we were covered
Exactly,
up a
because you
whole
wouldn't
lot.
have to worry about the man, because men gonna get aroused, and the more basic men, it don't take nothing to get them aroused.
Yeah.
So
Maybe we wouldn't have insecurities if all women were covered up. Thought about that? Maybe I wouldn't care how skinny you are and you care how thick I am. You know what I'm saying? If we were all wrapped up. See how
facts.
that can solve some of our
I
problems?
mean, even though in my I still want to be thick in my robe.
No, no, I can dig
I want,
it. But my
uh,
thing is to think about the issues that we
but you're
speak
saying,
on.
yeah.
We
Hmm.
always talking about we right now insecurities and sabotage. Thinking about how we look. Why? This is why in school, in elementary school, we wear uniforms. That was the point of that. So everyone looks the same. Everybody is uniform. So yeah, this parent might be able to afford, you know what I'm saying, Gucci and this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 blah. And everyone is on a same level playing field in school, you know what I'm saying, wearing, a uniform.
Hmm.
We can say the same thing for adults. You would not be worried about what another female looked like if everybody was covered up. So it wouldn't be based off of how it would literally be your eyes and your energy.
Hmm.
Because all you can see is
That
your
one girl,
eyes
she had
and
the TikTok.
feel
She
your
said,
energy.
hmm That girl on TikTok, she said, my biggest flex is that my husband married me and only saw my eyes up until after our wedding day. Like, and I was like, you know what? That is a flex because
That's
how can
very much a
women walking around
flex.
stressing about how they look every day and head to toe, and all he worried about is her eyes.
That's it.
Because in reality, you can see into his soul through the eyes. That's the gateway. So you really, all you need is the eyes to be able to see if you're dealing with a truthful person, a deceitful person, someone with good intentions or bad intentions, and to listen, and feel what they saying. You only need the mouth
Absolutely.
and the eyes. You don't need
That's
nothing else
it.
to determine if someone's good for you or not.
That's a fact. So just based off of that, sounds like we might want to take some notes from them.
Yeah,
It
in
may it
reality.
may
Hey,
it may
now,
solve some of these issues we got. And then
hmm
I can say the same thing on the other side. There are
hmm
possibly women of it who do feel
which
oppressed, wish that they can have the choice to do something. So guess what? Mama, you can do that.
it's
All we
about
gotta
doing
do is
what
be
you want.
ourselves and show them, you know what I'm saying, that it can be done because there are healthy ways to do that. Because again, I don't just completely cover myself. I'm from Africa, straight up. I need raw. I need
I
Ronnie.
know I need the
You
sun
know
on my
what I'm
skin.
saying?
That's really
So
the only reason I don't really ever care if somebody compliments me. But my body just don't want clothes on it. I want to actually feel the skin on my body, like I mean the sun on my body. You know, like it's a very
trust
simple
me, I know
situation.
I'm from Africa, and I know if I was home, it would just my all the bottom would be
Oh,
covered and my titties would be swinging, and nobody would have no problems. If I can have it that way, I promise you, I
it's
would.
gonna be that way. Why
I
do you
can't
think I
wait.
want so
I
much
can't
land?
wait because I'm
That's the only reason
serious.
I don't want neighbors.
Yeah, these are bottles. Like I'm gonna need the world to get with it. These are bottles, okay? They only
Point
turn
blank,
into something
period.
else when I choose to.
Right.
Outside of that, my niggas, they're bottles. I mean, yeah, like
Yeah, men get to walk around with their nipples showing all the time.
right,
That's not
right,
fair. Y'all want us to wear
right.
a hot ass sweaty
They
sports
chest is
bra.
sexy like our titties is sexy, but you know, I love
Right.
my hands to myself, so my goddamn it keep.
It was also saying it's not good for like bras because you know your nipples are supposed to.
Oh, we got a third party in there. Okay,
Well, yeah, we look. He, bro's like, yo, they actually saying bras ain't good for you because it allows your nipples,
To
and that's
shrink and small up.
yep, and that's another thing, because they get weak. So then your breasts get dependent on bras, and the gravity stops doing its job because it's resting all day in bras.
and maybe that's possibly why people be talking about, babies can't latch on. You got all these issues with breastfeeding, and that's possible. There's also been that's been a lead to cancer too. They've been saying they've been putting shit in bras. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Different type of yeah. They was this was going on for like
Oh my gosh,
a
my
couple
titties
of
just
years
had a
ago.
revelation.
I saw a lot
Oh,
of coverage on that.
they
Google
just
it.
started tingling like that was truth. Like all those poor
Google
titties
it.
that went through cancer.
Google it. There was a study, and there was people who was bringing it out. But you know how they do stuff like that. They gotta take away because the bra
Because
industry.
people gonna stop buying bras.
Exactly, people are gonna stop buying
And
bras.
then you know
And
what
they
else?
can't
No,
have
but that's not the bigger picture. The bigger picture is if that's really a serious thing, then that means that would be an obvious notice in the decrease of breast cancer. So then that's going to be an obvious, deduction
not
in the
to
breast
mention the
cancer
lawsuit.
research
But let me tell you
donation.
something. I would be
Exactly.
suing the
It's
fuck.
Yep.
Let me find. Cause I would be suing the hell out of
Yeah.
what Queens,
Absolutely.
what's the Playtex.
right.
You
All
know
of it.
what I'm saying? All the niggas like.
And probably every Walmart bra, because I
You
still
know
don't
what
trust
I'm
Walmart.
saying?
So
They
I
couldn't
be
handle the
would be
lawsuits. They couldn't handle the lawsuits.
no, they'd all be out of business. You're
They'd be
right.
out of business, and that's what they can't do. Loss of life and loss of finances. They can't fuck with that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Now we tried to do it, and it's after we we
Yeah,
get
you
into
guys,
that
we was
feeling,
trying to
and it
do
just worked.
45 minutes tonight.
Yeah.
It's an hour and 15.
But all right, well, we're gonna
Yeah,
end it there. I
exactly.
think we get the point. Your insecurities, you know what I'm saying, will
Yeah.
sabotage and fuck up your life. So let's stop doing that.
Right.
Believe in yourself. You know what you're capable of, and if you don't know, find out. Because everybody is capable of something. You are here for a purpose, and you were born with all
Everyone is here
that
for a
you need.
purpose. D-
Find it.
Hitler, Hitler served his purpose.
He did. Good
Megan,
and
we love
evil.
you. And
Balance.
it don't have to be great. You're great. It could be as simple as you going to a little girl and telling her how pretty her dress is, and you don't know that little girl just thought she was the ugliest thing in the world because she's being bullied at school. And you, a random stranger, coming and telling her that changes her whole mind and confidence to she gets the confidence to want to go and be president one day, and then one day that's the first woman president, and the confidence to do that all stems from you coming and complimenting her. That's still a great path. That's still greatness.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be direct. And a lot of us, myself included, we carry all this stress and weight on us. Like someone told us that we really had to like take care of the whole world, or that we really had, like, I know my mission is great, but I don't know exactly to the extent of how many people I'm supposed to reach. It may be a lot. It's probably a lot, but no one told me that. I could every day just enjoy the people that day that I do come across, and then 50 years from now, look up and know it was a million people, rather than stressing and trying to tell yourself, oh, it's got to be a million people. This is, because then that sets yourself up for insecurities as well. Because if you're planning something that's not in your plan, in your divine plan, and then you didn't over here and built yourself up for this whole life that spirit didn't even intend for you to have, and you don't get it because it's not intended for you to have it, but now you feel bad about yourself. And
Yep.
in reality, you was chasing something that wasn't for
Mm,
you. Let it go.
that's
You know?
I feel like everything is a redirection. So
Hmm.
if something quote unquote fails or doesn't work out, that means it wasn't for you. It has nothing to do with who you are as a person. Doesn't mean that you suck or you don't have a purpose or something wrong with you. That's just not what you are supposed to do. And again, we
Hmm.
got free will, so we're trying to figure this out. So we may make the wrong turn. That's what the universe, ancestors, God, whatever you want to call it, is there for. So if you're going left, but disaster happens left and it makes you have to cut through the trees to go right, don't be mad because you had to cut through the trees and go through all that shit. Just be glad that you did not get blown
Go.
on the left and you got the opportunity to make it right. That's
Right.
what you got to focus on. And
Right.
I'm
Exactly.
talking to myself.
Right.
I'm talking to myself
We
because
preaching to the choir.
yeah, because this be sounding real great when I'm talking to it like this, but when I be in my
Man, you
feelings,
be like, I'm telling you.
be the worst. Not necessarily. I can
Oh,
go.
period, because that's the energy.
I can. I can go out covered with head to toe like Mother Teresa and still get hollered at. I feel it's not that all men are taught to respect us, or if they were, they changed not by not respecting boundaries. They are visual creatures, but that doesn't make it right.
And this goes back to, it starts with you raising your children. So if you have little boys that you are raising, yes, just like it's my job to just teach my daughter, and my daughter's, I've always taught her to be herself. So there's a very fine boundary when it comes to me telling her what to wear, and I respect that because her intentions is never to show her body, but I have to, teach her just to prepare for the energy that we're wearing certain things would bring. Like you're not gonna get the energy you probably want from the little boys at school if you're wearing that. They're gonna be annoying and pestering you because you got a pretty dress on. And so that's the same for people with little boys. Like you have to teach little boys, little girls, no matter what they're wearing, no matter how that little girl makes you feel, if that little girl doesn't want you to touch her or to be around her, or then you have to give her that. It doesn't matter what your guy is talking about. If she
Mhm,
says no, then that means no. If she says leave me alone, it means leave me alone. you
mhm.
know
That's true.
that
That
goes
has to be
into.
taught. That has to be taught. And here's another thing, women, we have to reinforce that because I promise you, men who do stuff like that have gotten away with it before.
Mm-hmm.
They have been allowed to behave that way. So that's why, in their mind, it's cool. You got to check that at the door. And here's another thing, if you're a beautiful person, let's say energy, you can be wrapped up like a mummy. But if you exuding that love energy and all that stuff, even the way you dress, that would attract people.
Mm-hmm.
It almost look like you're gonna heal them if they're around you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And,
So they will still holler at you because in their mind they might want to need your healing. They might want to need that good juju. You know what I'm saying? There's different ways and reasons why people are attracted to you and want you in their life. It doesn't
yeah.
necessarily always got to be about
Well,
sex.
that's why there's how many different types of genders, like sapiosexual. Sapiosexual is someone that's just that's attracted to what stimulate
Intelligence, yeah.
conversation. You
You
know,
can have, yep, you'll talk about the science and the quasars and the stars and have them hard as hell the whole time they talking to you because
man, because I
that's
tell you,
what
I love
turns
to
them
nerd
on.
out with somebody.
Absolutely. But it's at the end of the day, it's still your energy. And I'm gonna tell you, I can only speak for myself. I have a thing with me. Okay. So like I said, I do half covered. So if the girls, you know what I'm saying, are saying hello, the bottom half of my body is completely covered. So you can't see my
Okay.
thighs, my legs, and nothing like that. If the girls, and just the cleavage, I don't just be having my titties out, but they kind of big, so they do what they do. If
Get you.
if I decide to have my legs and my thighs and all that, if I wear some shorts, then I'm gonna make sure the shirt that I have on, you know what I'm saying, is completely covering this. I'm not just gonna give you all, what I'm saying, all on outside because I live in Macon, Georgia. It's hot as fuck out here in the summertime. And to be quite honest, I can care less about what nobody else is thinking, feeling, you know what I'm saying, getting a hard on or none of that. I'm hot. I'm not about to sit here and be uncomfortable because you
You
can't
don't want them.
control yourself. Yeah, because you don't know what it is to see a beautiful woman in your wake. I don't know what to tell you. I put out the energy of thank you for the energy, but don't touch. I have never
Right.
touched you. I've never
That's
had
what
an
you
issue
gotta
with
do.
anybody trying to touch me. Anybody. Now, don't get me wrong.
It's
This
about being appreciative.
people
You
a
can
little
be
friendly.
appreciative.
Yeah, people are a little friendly since COVID has been a little different, but down south people a little bit friendly. You know, if a man they'll come up next to you, they'll put your arm around you. I've had a few of those, but I've never had anybody to really grab my breasts or grab my ass or
Well, I don't have that for
saying,
them to
or
grab, so
come up to me and grab me behind my waist. And I ain't never had nobody do. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, I don't give off that energy, no matter what I'm wearing. I don't give forth that, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we can you don't think you got that. I call it the
I
ocean
I
energy. You
know I
don't
got
think you got ocean energy, but
yeah,
you do. And it's oozing out of your pores and you
whether you
don't
want
know
it
it.
to or not.
And whether you right. So
You could be at
understanding
the gas
yourself is
station.
important. Yeah. That's why knowing who you are is important. So then you
Mhm.
know how your energy, relates to other
So
people.
that you don't get all
Move.
butterfly every time a man compliments you, because in
Yeah.
reality, if you know that that's your energy, then you could be set with a lot of traps every
Yeah.
day. You know, like,
Absolutely.
if
Absolutely.
you don't know how to say, okay, this is just because I got good energy. He don't, he's attracted lustfully to me, and be able to understand and respect that, see that, like we could avoid a lot of heartache and stuff
Absolutely.
as men and women if we were able to discern when someone is purely lusting after our good energy, you know?
I think we know, but because of our insecurities and we be wanting the love and we be wanting that type of attention, we kind of look away from that and don't see that as a red flag.
Hmm.
And again, understanding your energy is really important because I had an issue long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Where there was a guy that I was dating. It wasn't serious, but you know what I'm saying? I'm a one like Erica Badu. I'm a whole lot of woman, but I'm not enough to divide my pot. I don't need to deal with more than one person at a time. And it don't matter free will or not. That's just not me. As long as a man, especially if it's just a sexual thing, as long as you handling your business, that's all I need you to do.
Right, exactly.
I don't need four, two, three, four niggas. Nah, just handle your business and we good. You know what I'm saying? But this one particular situation, I had went away somewhere, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't around him for a long time. And I was craving him, you know what I'm saying? But I was listening to highly sexual songs. I think I was listening to, sorry guys, R. Kelly was popping back then. He ain't get locked up or nothing like that. So I
He
was
said he hadn't
listening
been
to
locked up yet.
I was listening to R. Kelly. I think Trey Songz was out back then. I think this is when Trey Songz first came out with his sex joints, and he was really, yeah, I was listening to all that. Every time I would leave the house, every time I was on a bus, every time I was working out, I was just listening to sex songs.
Hmm.
So it was just
But that's all they
driving up
had
my
put out for
energy.
us. So that's what they did to us. You wasn't just listening to it. That's what was out. That's what was all over the radios. That's what was popular. Like,
I could dig it. So
yeah.
I could dig it, but I didn't do that was my lesson because I've never had that whole, oh, I made a mistake, I was drunk, and I ain't never had sex with nobody that I did not want to have sex with. I don't give a fuck how intoxicated. I don't understand when people say that shit. I
Right.
personally feel like
Exactly.
that's bullshit.
They
I have
lie.
never been in a situation where I had sex with somebody that I didn't want to.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
Fact.
saying? No, I was just so
Well,
in.
I mean, I can't say facts, but in reality, as an adult, facts.
Yeah, like for me, that regardless, for me, I can't. I've never been that fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Where that's never happened to me. But like I said, I was in that energy. So again, at the time we weren't serious, so that's why what happened and whatnot. But that's not really. I didn't want him. I wanted somebody else. But that energy was so strong, and I was putting it out there, and he caught it. So now, after that, and like I said, it was a long time ago, but I'm very mindful about that now because, yeah, this is how mistakes happen, and yeah, I don't got time for none of that.
Hmm.
I'm very mindful of that. But okay, we're gonna get out of
Yeah,
here.
you guys, I'm hungry now, sister. I'm like, okay, sis, the food done. I want to eat, but I love you guys. I love y'all. But I'm gonna see y'all in 2 more days, so it's really okay.
Yes, ma'am. So tell them where to find you.
You guys, we got our link trees, but Instagram at the energy model, um, TikTok at the energy model. Facebook at Misha's Love Tribe or Misha Alford. And then I think that covered all of it. My email is mishatillinglove@gmail.com. And yeah, Linktree, screenshot that. If you're not using your phone and you have an extra phone, you can take a picture of that real quick. We'll leave it up for about 10 seconds. And then after that, yeah, you guys catch me here, like I said, from here on out, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 a.m. No, 9 a.m. Just kidding.
All right. Yep. 9 a.m. I have to fix the flyer for next time. But yes, you're going to catch us here every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. We're going to kick it in the morning. So, Misha can make them coins. You know what I'm saying? She's going to bring them love coins. You know what I'm saying? In the building. All right. So I also have a link tree as well. This is how you can find everything, inspiration, everything that has to do with Plump Queen, everything that has to do with Inspire Media. We also have our apparel line on there, Be Inspired Apparel. So yes, like she said, screenshot, scan this QR code. This is how you can find everything that we got going on. All right. Make sure you go to Walmart, get you your Roku TV or your Roku Fire Stick, and make sure you download Inspire Media Network, because that's where you're going to get all of this inspiration. We're doing this different so we can get y'all on out of here. So that's how we do it. We have several podcasts.
I was on mute again. I was dying laughing.
Okay. So we definitely we want to help you grow your businesses, for businesses who, want to advertise on our podcast. We have a whole digital marketing team that supports you in all of your projects so that you can achieve all of your objectives. All right. Make sure you hit us up. Contact us at our email, inspirecontent999@yahoo.com, or you can call us at 478-318-6933. I don't know why I transferred to New York just then. I don't know what that was about. Sorry. I'll say it again. 478-318-6933.
Yes.
All right. That is all we have for you guys this evening. We love y'all.
Yeah.
Next Thursday, I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about my business. I had a dilemma. I won't say a dilemma. I had a lesson that I needed to learn. And I'm going to tell y'all about it. And it has to deal with childhood traumas and all that. And I'm going to peel down these layers with y'all, and y'all can help me continue to heal from these issues. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to lay myself bare just a little bit, just a little bit on Thursday. So I love y'all.
We love you all. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see y'all Thursday. Peace.